Okay, so this is an ATAS 120. This is an antenna from Yaesu. And quite what happens usually is people grab hold of the actual outer part of this here, which is attached to this center coil. And what happens is they twist it and they stress this. They either bend this rod here, which unscrews from this motor body. So, you know, if they've done something really basic, they've just damaged this rod. If they've not managed to do that, then what's happened is they've screwed it down too tight. They've screwed it down onto the car, or tried to use the outer to unscrew it from a tough sort of. When this goes down onto the actual body mount, it can get quite tight. And what happens is they strip the thread out of this part. Now this part is replaceable, but it's a bit of a faff to get in there. So I'm going to show you really what's happened, and I've actually got this apart, and I'm going to put it back together again in reverse. If you line those two up, you'll see that the motor and those screws there in the sort of like the top bush, if you like, or the bearing, actually line up, and that gives you some clue just how it comes apart. Now, initially, when you get these and you're trying to get these apart, these won't want to come out quite as easily. Don't be tempted to smash the end of this with something, because it will break, and you'll end up ruining the motor assembly in here. The motors are replaceable if you burn that out, as is near enough everything in this is replaceable. Now, we do have these in stock, these coils. We have majority of the bits and pieces in stock now. Spare whips, spare PCBs, spare screws, just about everything. Anyway, so I'm going to put this back together again in reverse. How I got this apart was really just carefully just sort of tapping the edge on, once all the screws are out, and just basically a little bit of releasing fluid just run down the side, and basically then just tapping it on the sort of side of something soft and forgiving, so that it will come out, and eventually this motor will come out, and this is the reverse. So long side, you'll see that all the holes line up. That goes in there, being careful not to trap the cables. This whole lot then slides down until all of that matches up, like so. And then you take a small screw, either in or out, that goes in the top, like so. And then you need the larger black screws, which go, and these are countersunk. And again, I've pointed out before, use the right screwdrivers. You'll notice there's a little dot on there that kind of suggests that it's a Japanese screw. If you use Japanese screwdrivers, JIS, then you'll see that they're absolutely on there, and you don't end up screwing, or the end of your screw up. So, and all I'm doing now, nothing's tight, and that pretty much is that. So let's put these few back in there and see whether or not it's actually going to function. Do that. Well, that one actually feels funny. I'm going to replace probably some of these screws, because that one did actually feel really funny. The head doesn't feel quite right. It's almost like it's got something in it. Yeah, that one I'm not happy about. I'll come back to that one. And again, we've just popped these in like so. we end up now with that essentially is the whole assembly put together again. And you know when these are absolutely knackered, because this will actually go in and out without being motorized. Just a little note here: do not undo this ferrule here, because there is a soft copper wire which goes up the inside, goes up the inside of this, and it's held in by this grub screw. If you do ever need to take this off, for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe this washer's damaged, you need to undo that grub screw first, and just ensure that when you're undoing this, that the wire has pulled out and isn't stuck and then going round with this, because the minute it does, it will snap off and you'll need to replace this coil, and that's not fun. That's another level of pain in the bum. Right, the next step is to put on, which bit is it? I think it's this one. Yeah, it is that one. So this is the lower rubber, okay, and that goes on next, like so. And then we're going to take the lower, sort of like the mount, the SO239 sort of part, and we're going to replug that in like so, and then we'll just gently poke that inside. Let's see all of this. I mean, I would normally put a little bit of rubber grease on there. I don't have any with me. I have actually lubricated it anyway. So, and you just pull that round until the screw holes line up. And these have got like a nylon washer, and they screw up like so. And they just want to be a firm finger tight. Again, nothing needs to be over tight. Okay. Possibly you could put the some Loctite on there. Use the soft Loctite, the one that doesn't set permanent. I think it's a red one. I think there are various colours. I think the green one, I think, is soft. I'm not sure. One of them is. One of them sets absolutely tough. Again, pointing out the screwdrivers. Get the right screwdrivers. That's really important. Okay, so that bit's done. And then this, if you look in there, that you can see that there's actually some recesses in there for the screws. And all you do is just push that down onto the recess, and that is that lower part done. Okay, the next part, okay, is this top section. That goes over the top. It will be a bit tight there, and when you're pulling this off, it's a bit tough. You may have to sort of twist it and locate the right position for it to come off. So it's a bit like a bayonet. So you kind of find its sweet spot, but it isn't easy. I'll give you that. So you need just to get it in there like so, and then that goes down, and you'll see on the top part of here, once we turn that around, get it there, you'll see that there's another hole, but there's another O-ring in there. It's a bit firm to sort of get up the top there as well. But that's good enough to test this with, and what I've got here, I'll show you in a second. Actually, I've got basically a variable power supply. Okay, now I'm supplying this with anywhere between I think it's 8.5 volts and 12 volts. Okay, and when the voltage goes below 10 volts, this will go one direction. Once it goes over 10 volts, then it will go the other direction. That's how it works, and that's what that little circuit does. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to screw that into there like so. There you go. And then what I'll do is, you can see that once you've got that like so, I'll turn the power on, and okay, and I'm actually winding this up now to 10 volts. and you'll see that it's going out. Okay, we'll let it go all the way to the end and see what it does. Fascinating stuff. Let's make sure the camera's all right. Yeah. So that's doing its thing. And it's come to its end. Then we'll go down to under 10 volts. So there's 10 volts and it goes into like a neutral position. And then as we get to 9 volts, should 8.5. There you go. At 8.5 volts, it starts to go the other direction. And what I want to do is just see that it goes all the way in. And it should, theoretically, go all the way up to the top. And there you go, it stopped. And I want to make sure that it will go back the other way. So we've gone up to now 10 volts. 10.5 volts. There you go. And it's gone back the other way. So I'm happy about that. I'm going to stick a fork in this one and say it's done. Just going to get a nice new socket head screw for that. And yeah, stick a fork in it, get this one back to the customer. I think it's done. Give it a good clean. Put a new rubber on the top for him. And yeah, so hopefully happy customer. Thanks for watching.